Welcome to Your Next Mission podcast with the 12th Sergeant Major of the Army and co-founder of the American Freedom Foundation, Jack L. Tilley. Proudly presented by Cavalry Agency, Navy Federal Credit Union, Purdue University Global, and Veterans United Home Loans.
Hello out there, warriors, past and present, and your families. Thank you for your service to our great country. Welcome to Season 3 of Your Next Mission video podcast, a program initiative of the American Freedom Foundation. I'm Jack L. Tilley, 12th Sergeant Major of the Army, and your host. Now, before we get started, I personally want to thank our presenting sponsors, Cavalry Agency, Navy Federal Credit Union, Purdue University Global, and Veterans United Home Loans for making Your Next Mission happen. They love our veterans and families. As I say every week, we love them too. We have a great show for you today. In fact, I always say we have a wonderful show. We're going to be focusing on the VA mortgages and some of the misconceptions in the real estate lending. And I'm so excited to introduce Christopher Davis, Assistant Vice President in Real Estate Lending with the Navy Federal Credit Union. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. I can't tell you how excited I am to be here with you, SMA Tilley. I'm a fan. I'm also a subscriber. So I'm a fan of the podcast, and I'm definitely a fan of your audience. And so great to be here, great to have that audience, and great to talk about something I love, which is the VA loan.
Well, I certainly appreciate it. And I love the fact that you're a subscriber, and I'm always pumped up about that too. But before we get started, I just want to personally thank, Navy Federal Credit Union for all they do for our veterans and families. I mean, they not only are they a sponsor for us, which we absolutely love, there's no question about that, but they do a lot for our veteran community. So I want to thank you, and of course, please pass that on to your team about thanks for doing what they're doing with our veteran community. We have a lot to cover today, but before we do that, the audience is always curious to hear from somebody that comes on the show about them. So can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. I am married to my wife, Elizabeth, and we're coming up on a big one, a 30-year anniversary next August. We've already started celebrating. We have 3 children, and would love to travel, love everything about family life as well. From a work standpoint, I love what I do at work. I have a passion for mortgage lending. And so I've been doing it for over 30 years now. I've been at Navy Federal Credit Union for about a little over 12 years now. And again, just have a passion. At work, we talk about what we get to do. And serving the military and their families is just something, it's a great honor. We get to do it. We get to take part in the home buying experience for them, and what great satisfaction we get from getting to help them.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize the kind of sacrifices our veteran community makes for this country. And again, I appreciate all you guys do. Chris, could you tell the audience exactly what is a VA loan, and how is it different from the other loans?
VA loans are a little bit different from other loans from the standpoint that they have a lower interest rate because they're guaranteed by the government. Generally, the interest rates may be as much as 1/4 or 0.5% lower than other loans. With the VA loan, you are able to finance 100% of the purchase price. And what that means is you might be able to save some money by not having to come to the closing table with the down payment. The process and the paperwork is substantially the same for a VA loan.
Oh, wow. Can you share one of the things which is really interesting? I never got a VA loan. I guess I just got a conventional loan. I put the money down because I didn't know much about the VA loan, I guess. And I should have before I got out of service. Can you share the top misconceptions about the VA loans?
Sure, but for you to tell me, just didn't think about it. Or didn't know about VA loans for you yourself.
I knew about
to coach you sooner.
Well, I knew about I knew about the VA loan, but I guess I don't know why. When I jumped out of the Army, I was moving quick. There's a lot of stuff going on. I always thought that In the military, what they should do is educate people a lot earlier about those benefits and entitlements. And I think guys like me, all I did was say focus on the military, and you know, and I didn't really focus on those kind of things, which is unbelievable when I think about it. I probably shouldn't have told you that, but maybe I should share that, because I think the audience will say, "What a
No,
nuthead that guy is."
not a nuthead. In fact, we'll just say, oh, you're common. So Navy Federal
Yeah.
Credit Union did a survey of 1,000 service members, veterans and active duty. And one of the things that we found out is a combined 29% of homeowners who, just like you, didn't use a VA loan would tell us that the reason that they didn't would either be they didn't know about VA loans, or they just didn't think about it. So what a tremendous benefit, and yet too often that benefit is left on the table. But let's talk about a few more of the misconceptions that are out there that we identified in this survey. There's really three that I want to touch on. The I can only use it one time, that there might be delays in processing, or it might take longer. And then what we've already talked about, that the VA loan has 100% financing. Half in our study, what we found out was half of active duty respondents and almost a third of veterans believe that a VA loan could only be used one time. And I can't tell you how many times I personally have had a conversation with the veteran saying, I'm saving it to buy my forever home. And we're like, oh, you don't have to. It is a benefit that you may have the opportunity to use again and again. So that's one of those misconceptions that we want to make sure is known today.
Well,
the other, delays.
Chris, let me say one thing real
Sure.
quick. One of the things I think is a problem is that, again, a misconception. The people in the military sometimes don't take this personally. Sometimes there's a problem about trusting people. You know what I mean? And so they don't want to jump out and take a loan because, I don't feel comfortable about giving, so there's a really a trust factor that falls in there, if that makes sense. I mean, for me, when I was on active duty, I mean, we always talked about be careful about people off post, be careful about all that stuff. So I think it's just a trust factor with a lot of people.
Absolutely. I agree. And so hopefully we'll have the opportunity to talk a little bit more about that as well today, and what your audience, what they can do to gain that trust. Back to some of these misconceptions, the delays. We've already talked about the process. The paperwork is substantially the same for a VA loan as any other type of loan, and really the opportunity to close on time is substantially the same with a VA loan with any other type of loan. And there is a misconception out there regarding that as well. In our study, we found out that 59% of active duty and 41% of veterans believed that a VA loan would take longer. And 58% of active duty and 40% of the veterans thought that there would be delays due to the paperwork. These perceptions we don't see these at Navy Federal Credit Union. We tell our veterans, we can close your loan when you want to close your loan. And so we want to dispel that myth as well. The third that I was talking about was the 100% financing. This was interesting to me because that's such a great piece of the benefit for a veteran or active duty to be able to use their VA eligibility. We found out that 12% of our active duty respondents believe that no down payment is needed for a VA loan. And 17% of our veterans and a full 45% of the active duty service members believe the down payment of more than 20% is necessary. We talked about the substantial savings. It's also the substantial ability to be able to buy sooner and not have to save, or keep that money in your savings and be able to utilize this VA eligibility for you. So those are just three of those misconceptions that were identified in this survey.
Yeah, I got a couple questions here, Rick. How long does it take me to close on a loan? I mean, if I say I'm going to, get a loan, is it like 7 days, 14 days, 20 days, 30 days? You say whenever I want. Well, what's the whatever?
Generally, to close any type of mortgage loans, we're talking about 30 to 35 days. That 35 days would be standard. We have many members that come in and say, oh, I need it sooner. I need to close in 30 days or less than 30 days. And generally we're going to say, here's how. you can go, here's how you can make that happen. And so there is the capability to close even faster, but generally 35 days should be what is expected out there.
Yeah, this is a real interesting subject for me, especially after I told you I didn't have a VA loan. But here's the other question I got for you. Hey, so now the economy's having a little bit a lot of problems there in the economy. People financially don't have the money. So what if my credit's not high enough to get a VA loan? Does that fall in with your credit score? I'm sure it does, but is that an issue if my credit score is too low to get a loan? Is there a cutoff for that?
Every individual out there is going to have individual circumstances that impact how they qualify for the loan. What's the best capability, what's the best way to move forward with the loan? We're always advising our members, I'll advise every listener out there to say, do your homework up front. Do check out your credit score up front, before you even get started in the process. Talk to lenders, talk to many lenders, and find out from those lenders what they say about your credit score, your credit history. The VA loan does not set a specific criteria for that, but having good credit is important for any type of loan out there.
Oh yeah. So last question, I'll get off that real quick. So if my credit score is, let's say it's not high enough to get a loan, I would assume you guys maybe counsel me and tell me what to do to make that credit score go up higher?
We have a variety of places where you can go and obtain information regarding that. And so generally what I would recommend is to call our contact center, get pre-qualified or look into what it's going to take in order to get pre-qualified. Again, do your homework up front. Everybody can get their own copy of their credit report by reaching out to the credit reporting agencies directly. Talk to lenders, talk to people, and make that determination on what it's going to take in order for you to be able to move forward in your case. But I do want to make sure that I point out that VA does not set a minimum credit score standard. There's minimum responsible use of credit and things like that, but it's not based solely off of credit score. So very often we're talking about credit score when we need to talk about the big picture.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, what should a VA loan borrowers look for in a mortgage lender? I mean, is there something specific? I'm going to go out and I'll buy a home, so who should I be looking for? I mean, I guess here's another thing for you. When I was looking for people to assist me, I'd always look for somebody that was a veteran that had a little bit of a connection. But who should I look for in a mortgage lender?
I'm really happy that you asked this question. I love to answer this question.
Go get on it.
I always use an analogy, and so I'm gonna have to ask you a question back. So,
okay,
SMA
go ahead.
Tilley, we're gonna go out for a great steak. And I'm gonna let you pick the restaurant. Are you gonna pick a seafood restaurant?
I like seafood, so I may go to the seafood. but I got you, Jeff. You're going to pick the best person that you would have looked for. But I'm with you. But sometimes, I guess sometimes, especially a younger veteran that gets out or an older veteran like myself, you may not know the right person to look for. So you're looking for somebody that I don't know. For me, it's always the word of mouth. You know what I'm talking about? So you go around, you get in a veteran community, you're talking to a bunch of veterans, and the word of mouth is going to say, hey, go talk to whatever. And that's who I look for. In fact, okay, for me now, when I was looking for a home, I built a home, but I was looking for a home, and I talked to one person, and one guy says, hey, this guy over here is a real estate agent. He spent 8 years in the Marine Corps. Would you like to work with him? Absolutely. I immediately have trust and confidence. And then when I told him, I said, hey, look, he said, well, what's your price range? I said, look, I don't know. I said, I'm just getting out of the military. I don't want to spend $500,000 or $1 million on a home. I like to be. And so this, you'll love this. I bought a 6-bedroom house, 3-car garage, 3-bath, and a golf course. These people that are listening is probably going to cringe when I say that, for $182,000. And then I added a pool. So I got a really good deal, but I really got out and I looked for what you're saying, the right mortgage lender, the right person to help me out. So. Well,
I think all your subscribers are going to contact you now and say, hey, help us to find that same home, or are you interested in selling? You may hear from all of them. But back to the question, what should your listeners be looking for? And so I make the joke about the steak restaurant, but they should be looking for a specialist. And you said yourself, hey, I found a Marine Corps veteran, and as a real estate agent, he understands me. I should be working with somebody that understands me. And I absolutely agree with that. We have thousands of real estate agent partners throughout the country that we work with on a regular basis who specialize in VA financing and working with the military. We help educate them on that as well. I hope they'll be tuning into this podcast and listening to this for some advanced education as
me
well.
Too.
Right. But what should your listeners be looking for? They can look no further. They should look for Navy Federal Credit Union. There's my plug for myself. But really, they should be looking for a lender that specializes in VA financing, that understands working with the military, that understands working with the veterans. We are one of those lenders, and there's more that are out there. Roughly 45% of the loans that we originate at Navy Federal Credit Union are VA loans. So we're pretty darn good at it, if I do say so myself. Navy Federal Credit Union understands the military, understands service members. We've been doing this since 1933, not necessarily mortgages since 1933, but the credit union is coming up on its 90th anniversary. And we've been doing mortgages now for well over 40 years as well. We understand. And so your listeners should be looking for a lender. They should be looking for a real estate agent that understands their unique needs, that understands really the VA loan program as well.
Yeah, they got to look for somebody they have trust and confidence. And I would tell you right now, Chris, there's no question in my mind that the Navy Federal Credit Union, I have trust in you. There's no question about that. We're talking with Christopher Davis, Assistant Vice President of Real Estate Lending for the Navy Federal Credit Union. And you're watching Your Next Mission video podcast with me, your host, Jack L. Tilley, 12th Sergeant Major of the Army. And don't forget, if you're enjoying this discussion, and if you're not, there's something wrong with you, please like us. Click on that subscribe button below. Chris, to continue on our discussion, the VA process, loan process, is a little different from the conventional loan process. What differences should VA loan borrowers be especially aware of?
That's a great thing for us to go over and to make darn sure of it. A certificate of eligibility is necessary for a VA loan. So I'll start right there. Certificate of eligibility is issued by the Veterans Administration. It says that you are eligible for the benefit. It does not say that you're eligible for the loan. You're eligible for the benefit. And if you meet the qualification standards, then you are eligible for the loan as well. But every veteran, every active duty service member can contact the VA. They should have their DD-214 or a signed statement of service handy to obtain that certificate of eligibility. And they can do that at any point in time. Second thing that they should be aware of, knowing that they're eligible for the VA loan is to discuss that with their lender. But they can also be free to discuss other loan options that are available to them as well. We just want to make sure that they don't go to other loan options first and then forget that they're eligible for a VA loan. So that's one of those
All
things
right, I'm
that
hitting
I would
myself
always make
now.
sure that I point out. With and one of the big reasons why is with the VA loan, VA enables up to 100% financing with no mortgage insurance, no private mortgage insurance. And so when you compare that to the conventional loans that we were talking about, generally you're going to pay private mortgage insurance on a conventional loan. And the savings that you get by no down payment and avoiding mortgage insurance is truly significant. That I would say that the times that a veteran or active duty service member is not going to use their VA eligibility should be rare when it comes to mortgage financing.
Yeah. How can you make that mortgage process, more smoothly? as smooth as possible anyway.
Again, be prepared. Know your credit score before you get started. Know if you have issues before you get started. Do your homework. Navy Federal Credit Union enables you to do your homework. Navy Federal Credit Union online has calculators to allow you to look at payment sample examples. You should know your budget. You should know what you're looking for a monthly payment. And again, all of these things are important to do before you get started.
Yeah, Chris, I got a ton of questions for you, but unfortunately, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching Your Next Mission video podcast.
You're watching Your Next Mission, proudly presented by the Cavalry Agency. They help brands dominate no matter their size. Ideas, strategy, action. This is Cavalry. Learn more at cavalry.com. Navy Federal Credit Union, the most trusted credit union owned by members of the military community, serving all branches of the armed forces and their families. Their members are the mission. Learn more at NavyFederal.org. Purdue Global, providing affordable online education for hardworking adults. Learn more about a personalized, innovative, and world-class education at PurdueGlobal.edu. Veterans United Home Loans, the #1 VA lender for 5 straight years. If you're buying, they're funding your dreams. Learn more at VeteransUnited.com. Now back to your host, the 12th Sergeant Major of the Army, Jack L. Tilley.
Welcome back. We're blessed to be here today with Christopher Davis, Assistant Vice President in Real Estate Lending for the Navy Federal Credit Union. And I want all our viewers to reach out to me directly. Tell us about your transition. Tell us what topics you like as a cover. I always say that this is not my show, it's our show. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you want to talk about. You can call or text me at 844-424-1134. And I'll actually reach back out to you. You might find that a little unusual, but I love to talk to people anyway. And I'll reach back out to you and talk about it. Or send me an email at SMA Tilley at yournextmission.org. Okay, let's pick it up where we left off. We're heading into our final segment. Chris, I've enjoyed talking to you. There's no question about that. I just have, and I say I only have a couple more questions, but I may have more. But I've enjoyed talking to you, and I really appreciate, again, what Navy Federal Credit Union is doing for our veterans and families. To follow up where we left off, Chris, are there any common pitfalls buyers using VA loans should avoid? Or is there something, I need to stay away from, I guess?
Absolutely. As I said earlier, do your homework, understand your credit score, search for a lender, ask them lots of questions. One of the more common pitfalls that we see, though, is don't be intimidated by the VA loan process, and don't let others intimidate you about the VA loan process. And really, that could be a lender, that could be a real estate agent, that could be anybody. But that's one of those common pitfalls. The benefits of VA loans, they're just hard to beat. There's going to be very few times when another type of loan is a better option for our veterans and our service members. Another pitfall, though, might be a VA loan can only be used to finance a main residence. So if you're looking to purchase a rental or investment property, the VA loan's not going to be the right loan for you in that instance. The basic understanding, though, is to make sure that you have a good understanding of this benefit that you've got and ask lots of questions. And I think you should be expecting this is the most likely way that we're going to move forward for the financing of our home each and every time that you go out there and purchase a home, more than once.
There you go. Hey, what kind of resources can you use? I mean, is there any additional resources that are out there?
Yes, I talked briefly about Navy Federal Online. We talked about this survey today, and this, why Navy Federal did this survey was to dispel some of the misconceptions about VA loans. You can obtain information about this on the Navy Federal Online from in addition to that, from videos to articles, we have everything our members are going to need or would want to know about VA loans, all in one central place. The NavyFederal.org, making sense, home ownership. That's the way that you'll find that information online.
Yeah. Chris, any final thoughts, anything you want to bring up, anything maybe we missed when you was talking to the audience, anything else? I mean, first of all, again, I want to thank you for coming on the show. And I can tell just by listening to you this morning that, or today, that you're a wealth of knowledge. And I'm sure if I was ever going to buy a home, I'm going to contact you. I need to get your contact information so you can help me out a little bit. But any final thoughts, anything you want to say?
Absolutely. I want to speak to your audience and just say what an honor it is for us at Navy Federal Credit Union to get to serve them, to get to serve our military and their families. I want to speak to our loan officers and say, our loan officers likely join me with the passion that we have as we talk about, we get to service. We get to, our motto is our members are the mission. We get to help them on their mission of home ownership, and we get to play a part in it. And what an honor and a privilege it is. So again, what an honor and a privilege it is for me just to be able to come on this show and get to speak to you and many others. Thank you.
Chris, I want to thank you for, again, thank you for what you do and what you continue to do. And thank you for being with us today. I'm Jack Tilley, 12th Sergeant Major Army. You've been watching Your Next Mission video podcast. And thanks for watching today. I mean, this is some incredible information for you to help you with that purchase of a home. And you need to think about that a lot. That's living the American dream. Please visit our website at yournextmission.org and leave me a review. I always say, I hope it's a good review, but if it's a bad one, I can take it. Not very good, but I guess I can take it. Or you can also visit our partners there who can provide you with so many services that will assist you in your transition from the military. Also, please visit our corporate partners there. See all the jobs that are available for you. One of the missions that we have is trying to help you with that employment. So check it out. See if they got available for you. Please know we want to assist you any way we can. And I'm going to say that again. I'm going to say it every time we do this show. Please know we want to assist you any way we can. Please follow me on my personal social media channels. One thing I never thought I'd ever say: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and of course, LinkedIn. And if you enjoyed this discussion with Chris, please like us. Click on that subscribe button below. Don't forget, we want to hear from you. Please leave me a message or send me a text at 844-424-1134, or send me an email at SMA Tilley at yournextmission.org. Thanks again to Christopher Davis from the Navy Federal Credit Union for being with us today. You could tell that he cares, or they care, about you. It was just great having him on the show. And at this point, I'm always supposed to give you my final thoughts. And the thing today is live the American dream. Live the American dream about open your own home, but you got to find the right people to assist you. You got to find the right people that care, just like Navy Federal Credit Union. They care about our military. They care about our military spouses and families, and they can make a difference. But it's about your future. It's about preparing, just like Chris said, make sure that you do all that preparation up front and do the things that you need to do to buy a home. But I think one of the biggest accomplishments in my life was actually paying my house off. And I'm proud about that. But I did a lot of preparation only because my wife made me do it. So for you people that are married, listen to your spouses, do those kind of things, and make sure you're prepared. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks to Cloudcast Media, New Mind Studios, and of course, our 4 presenting sponsors: Calvary Agency, Navy Federal Credit Union, Purdue University Global, and Veterans United Home Loans. We appreciate all you do for our military. And as always, see you on the high ground. Hoo-ah!
You've been listening to Your Next Mission, brought to you by the American Freedom Foundation. Learn more by visiting yournextmission.org.